Yes, and I mean there is no. I mean that's the whole benefit of doing owner finance, right? Is that you can mark up your property as much as you want,
Yep,
versus going retail and having to get a lot of these notes don't have an appraisal. So even if they did, okay. So one of my personal properties, I'll get an appraisal. It'll say, hey, your property's this is the appraised value, but as an owner finance seller, I'm going to sell this property at XYZ. And that's my prerogative to do that. And if you want the house with owner finance, you're going to pay the higher premium.
right.
And typically I tell everybody stay under 10%, right? 10% is probably 10 to 15% is probably average, is probably good. But anything over that, then yeah.
So, and maybe a clarification for those that are doing seller finance, the fact that you are offering financing means that you don't have to compete with the bank on a rate. I was talking to somebody in Utah a couple of weeks ago, and he was showing me that he's got this property that he wants to sell on terms, and he was offering 5%. I'm going, why? Why are you trying to undercut the bank? Like you're shooting yourself in the foot. There's no reason to offer that at a cheaper rate. They're coming to you because they can't qualify for the bank, which means you can charge a premium. So go ahead and ask for that 10% because that's the way they can.
Especially if you're thinking of selling that note, the number one thing recommendation that I'm going to give you guys or advice is you would have to have a conversation with your note buyer. Ask him what he wants, right? What DTI are you looking for? What LTV are you looking for? And the interest rate is a big one. I had someone call me too, and they said, "Oh, I'm going to write this note at 8%. Do you have any note buyers?" I said, "Nope, I don't." I mean, no, you can't. If you're going to do this as a business, you're going to want to sell that note at the end of the day. It has to be attractive to your note buyers.
Absolutely.
So talk to your note buyer first before you go create that note.
I'll put the blog in the comment section of what makes a note valuable, right? It's all about the term. The lower the term, the quicker payback, the higher of the interest rate, right? Balloon's okay and all that stuff. It's a matter of how fast I can get my money back and how much money I might get on the money. So those two pieces are a principal thing. Forget the UPB. I know we've talked about this immensely, and I'll talk about DME, that get over this idea of percentage of UPB because it doesn't take into account the fact that the interest rate, the term, everything there is missing. So hopefully we drive that home some more at DME, but the interest rates, the UPB is only one part of it, and really is not a big part. It's the interest rate as well as the term. It's a mathematical financial calculation to go through that. So I see Ray asked a bunch of good questions too regarding is a higher price code for predatory, or what is the current threshold to stay under to stay away from being a predatory lender? I presume it's everything we talked about today, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's you don't want to go into the high cost. So high cost is where you don't want to be. That's the threshold. You still can. Like I said, the buyer just has to go through a little bit of more loops. But so again, 6.5 plus prime. That's your max interest rate to stay under that threshold. And you can go bankrate.com and go look up what the prime rate is for the week. I think it adjusts every Tuesday. So you can go there, check it out, do your, just add your 6.5. That's on a first lien mortgage, by the way. So if you are going to be writing a wrap note or a sub 2, and it's going to be considered a second lien, then you can go 8.5 plus prime.
Gotcha.
That's great. And I can see Mark's wheels turning on this other question where he says, if you're going to do an ARM, where we talked about like instead of a balloon, you do an adjustable rate, and after 5 years you increase it. He's asking, is there a cap on that? And how do you determine how much you can increase it?
Right. So that's a tough one because, I'm going to say, so we're always going to have a floor. So if you're going to write an ARM, we're going to have your floor. You're going to start at 10%. Let's just say your floor, it'll never go under 10% no matter what. And then, so you say after 5 years, we're going to go 2 points above the APR plus prime.
Sure.
So then, that's how you're going to write this promissory note to say, hey, after 5 years, whatever the interest rate is of that in that moment, it's going to be 6.5 plus 2 points on top of that.
So that's a bit of a gamble.
So remember,
sudden interest rates drop, then.
Remember these thresholds and everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have a specific question, Sarah, in the chat box, there's a link for, should be pinned for a webinar thing. Just fill it out and you'll get Sarah's direct information and she'll get yours as well. So,
Yeah.
yep.
This has been really good. Very
So
interesting.
Sohal asked, or made a comment that on ARMs, I would have a cap of 2% per adjustment. That's well said. Sohal, appreciate that.
Okay. Okay.
So
Very
for those
good.
who
Very
joined
good.
late, again, this is being recorded. This will be on YouTube, our podcasts, all that good stuff. So feel free to jump in there. You'll get it. If you fill out the webinar, you're going to get a bunch of emails just to let you know more about it. And we're going to have a legal attorney on in 2 weeks, Jeff Watson, to explain what happened if you did it wrong, how can you correct that part of it, and all the kind of intricacies. And Jeff's been around for 32 years, I think he told us. So he's been around for a long time. So
For sure. And he's one of the top guys to talk about
Yeah.
seller financing. He's going to Washington. He's doing all these
Yeah.
things. He's a
great.
fantastic guy to ask these questions to.
So Ali asked a really nice question. All right. Question for us, Nathan. Do
Yeah.
we pay less percent of UPB when the borrower has an I-10 instead of an SSN? Does
Ooh,
that matter to us?
That's a good one.
I've never thought about that before. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't think that would
Can I
affect.
say something?
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead. Yeah.
Can I say something? I have a note buyer or lender that only that likes only I-10s.
Okay. And why is that? What's the advantage? Or what's that perceived
And
advantage?
in our experience here in Texas, we have a 1% default rate
Uh-huh.
on I-10 borrowers.
Okay, that was my question. And then the other place my brain goes is like, if there is a default, can I still foreclose with no issues? And I believe the answer is going to be yes, because I'm foreclosing for the title.
Yeah.
I don't think that would make a difference.
That's a good question for Jeff. Bring that question back up.
Yeah. Come back
I
in 2
like
weeks.
that.
Let's
Ali, if
check
you could
that
join
one
us
out.
in 2 weeks and 26 as well, when we have Jeff on that's a great question. For us, per se, what we care about, we bought bank originated notes, so this kind of goes out the window. But I would say that as long as they're underwritten and they have the ability to repay, and our focus as note buyers is, if things go bad, can I foreclose and get that property back and sell it and give them money out of it? That's
Exactly.
all we care about. So
Yeah.
as long as the legal process can secure that, and I'm sure, Kevin could jump in here too, as long as that is not affected, I don't care what it is,
No.
right? As long as I'm going for my
I mean,
return
yeah.
and my foreclosure.
Yeah. Good
And
question.
that's 90. I mean, for us, it's 90% of our business because, here in Texas, that's majority of our clientele that can't. The people who are going to go to owner finance is because they can't go to a traditional bank, right? So they have a social security number and they can go get a loan through a traditional mortgage. They're not going to go this route. So the people that will never be able to get financing through a bank.
Right.
Just to keep that in mind.
Interesting. Good question. All right, Sarah, I think we're kind of coming to a close. Dave, are there more questions? Are we good?
No, I don't think so. If anyone has any final question before we let you guys go, please put it in the chat before we let Sarah go. Once again, I don't see the pin thing in there, so I'll put the repin in there. Click that link, fill out the information, and you'll get an email right from us. Response back from me. We encourage you to go get DME signed up. If you have notes for sale, you can reach out to both of us. You can send me an email and I'll share with Nathan. We are separate companies, but we collaborate together. So we love to talk about this stuff and make sure you guys are doing things right so we can make a bunch of money ourselves. So we're a little selfish in that world, but I guarantee you, as many loans you can sell us, we'll give you the money and you can repeat this process and go create as many notes you want to so we can buy them from you. So that relationship can work out. There are a lot of us out there, note buyers, who do this specifically work. So we encourage you to kind of stay involved, stay active, and join us on the 26th. You'll see a post shortly about that, and we'll go from there. If there's any other questions, I appreciate everyone's giving thank yous, and Ray say thank you, and Kevin, all that stuff. Everyone's saying thank you.
And happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy Cinco de Mayo to all my Texas folk.
Yeah.
Yes. Melissa, she could spend another 8 hours in this topic. Well, the legal process would be great. Feel free to join in with us. Shoot an email to us. If there's a topic you want us to cover on that world, let us know and we'll definitely focus on it. We want to help you guys create the best note possible so then we can help, we can make our money as well. So we're a little selfish, like I said. But first and foremost, we want to thank Sarah so much for spending an hour and a half with us on this Friday afternoon from Texas. We're looking forward to seeing her in person at DME in Nashville on June 2nd. Just another reminder, the hotels expire today. So, and your tickets go up in price. So awesome. If you have any other questions, let us know. The link's there and we'll go from there. Sarah, if you could hold on for a minute, we're disconnect from public and wrap it all up. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.
Thank you very much, sir.